Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi is currently updating the media on key developments and decisions from his recent Executive Council meeting. The Premier is already speaking about that. Let's listen in.
450 criminals that we thought these are the people that are responsible for major crimes in our province. To date, we have managed to nab or arrest almost 150 of these 450 criminals, and the two most wanted criminals that we wanted that are responsible for cash heists in our province. In the last few days, they were nabbed, and unfortunately, they were fatally wounded during the police operations. We want to take this opportunity to thank our provincial commissioner, General Mtombeni, for really putting the resources and the energy to track the 450 criminals that we have identified as major contributors to crime in our province. To date, the number of kidnappings have declined, the number of cash heists have also declined, ATM bombings have declined. The only stubborn program that is still increasing in terms of numbers is GBV. And then we are looking at how best can we attend to this matter. We also want to thank all our local authorities who have jointly now made Gauteng to be boundaryless in terms of law enforcement. All municipalities have signed a partnership agreement, including the private security companies, as well as the SAPS. We now work together. We launched the program in Johannesburg. We had a major operation in the Vaal last month. Next month, we are going to Ekurhuleni, where we'll then also exercise the joint operation. The long term is to invade Johannesburg CBD. We are still moving around all the other regions just to determine the capacity and the resources that are needed to clean all these areas that we want to clean. So we will be in Ekurhuleni with an intention of trying to identify those that are responsible for criminal activities and those that are responsible for creating chaos in our province. When we were in Sidibeng, we managed to arrest 7 wanted people. Even though they wanted in other part of our province, they were hiding in Sidibeng. So when we had that joint operation, it assisted them to arrest those 7 wanted people. So it's quite clear that this program is assisting us in fighting crime in our province. We are quite aware that last week we welcomed the release of the second installment of the biannual State of Ethics report by the Gauteng Ethics Advisory Council. While the report outlines progress, it also exposes some troubling activities, such as officials that are conducting business with the state. It also points out significant progress in the work done to reinforce and institutionalize integrity across government agencies, the investigation by Chapter 9 and Chapter 10 institutions. Cabinet discussed this report extensively. We unanimously agreed to adopt the report, and we've now put up working committees that will have to give us a report every cabinet meeting on progress on all issues that we identified by the Ethics Council, mainly to determine those that are doing business with government. We've done that. Department of Education, which has the highest number, have already set up the team, and they've sent the report. Majority of people that are doing business with government are our educators, unfortunately, and are doing business outside our province. It's part of their side business that they've engaged and embarked on, or tendering for some of the services in other government institutions. There are also areas where you find that it's genuine work. For example, you find that a teacher is part of the SGB, and when the SGB goes to meeting, they give a teacher a petrol allowance, or they pay a teacher for the kilometers that they've traveled. But it will be captured as payment, and then our system will pay it as if we are doing business with government, because government is. We are cleaning that report because the two departments that are assisting us is the Department of Education and the Department of Health. Actually, I had a discussion also with his HOD Education that says that he fears that in the next report it can be there, because he also claims travel allowances when he goes on some of the work, and is paid through the system of BAS. And the system of BAS, when we interface, it will say you are doing business with government. But we are cleaning that report. It's one area that worries us. I've received the final outstanding lifestyle audits of the HODs that we're not going through the lifestyle audits. Of the 2 reports that I've received last week, of the 2 HODs, 1 HOD has passed the audit and 1 HOD has failed the lifestyle audit. We've requested that HOD to then subject themselves to the second round on areas that have been flagged by the SIU. Our lifestyle audits are not done by us as government, they're done by the SIU. And we are the only province that have entered an agreement with SIU so that we can empower SIU to go through this lifestyle audit reports. There is one that is outstanding. The relevant information was provided last week, and SIU has committed to me that in the next 2 or 3 weeks, they will conclude. This will have 100% lifestyle audit outcomes. I've started the process of consulting with the MECs and the HODs themselves on how to take this process forward, because I can't just receive these reports and not act on them. So we are working on this aspect. But we are impressed with the number of people that are responding to challenges that we have identified as the Gauteng provincial government outside the normal processes. For example, Gauteng has now started the process to vet all SCM staff. Anyone that is managing our contracts, as I'm speaking to you now, they're going through their lifestyle audits as well and their financial disclosures. It's a first in the province, but also a first across the country, where a province is taking all its managers through this process, purely because we really believe in good governance as a provincial government. We really don't want to do things that will really embarrass us. So this year saw only a slight dip to 99.4% due to 2 officials that were suspended. Otherwise, we'd have 100% of financial disclosures of senior managers. We're at 99% because 2 of them disclosures because they were suspended. So to achieve 99.4 in terms of financial disclosures achievement, if you take the population of our staff and the paperwork that needs to be compiled for this process to be attended. So compliance is our top priority when vetting senior management. And as of October 2024, the Gauteng provincial government had 750 senior managers and only 732 went through the vetting process. That's giving us another 98% compliance. And vetting is just to check whether they're not in databases that are against the state, so that before we employ you, we just have to ensure that you go through this vetting process. As I said, of the 750, 732 have passed that vetting process, bringing us to 98%. In collaboration with Chapter 9 and 10 institutions, the provincial government is at the various stages of investigating cases identified across the Gauteng City region. We intend to implement this recommendation as soon as they are finalized, especially the ones that are coming from the Auditor General. I wish to reiterate that as the Gauteng government, we are looking to establish a mechanism that will help us monitor implementation of the ethics reports, but also to ensure that the lifestyle audit of the remaining MECs, 3 MECs, are concluded in this term, in this quarter, so that we know also at the level of the premium MECs, the lifestyle audits are finalized. We need to lead as leaders. We must not say our officials must go through this lifestyle audits and ourselves don't go through this lifestyle audits. So we only have 3 MECs that are going through purely because they are appointed in this period, and as they conclude this, it will mean that we'll have 100% part of compliance in terms of lifestyle audit. We also committed to respond to issues that are affecting people of Gauteng. We identified 13 problems, we call them G13. High on the agenda was the issue of potholes, maintenance of roads, as well as issues related to grass cutting, street lights, traffic lights, And we have prioritized these matters. We've met with the mayors of our municipalities just to put a plan together. As a provincial government, we are proud that we appointed just to map the potholes in our province and the nature of our roads and the roads that need to be fixed, so that we don't just resolve this problem in the dark. So we've received the preliminary report that states that the road infrastructure that is owned by the Gauteng provincial government stretches over 5,400 kilometers. This is the road infrastructure that we are responsible for to ensure that there are no potholes and the traffic lights are functional. Of the 5,400 kilometers of this road, 5,000 of it it's tarred, which means it's tarred roads, and almost 1,400 is gravel roads that need to be changed. And majority of these gravel roads are in our township informal settlement. Currently, only 35% of the 5,400 roads that we are responsible as the province that we can say is in good condition. So we can see that we've got lots and lots of work to do. So we've now set aside 1.5 billion rand for immediate road repairs and maintenance. And additionally, by the end of 2025, we'll take over the coordination of road maintenance program currently managed by provinces to be managed by municipalities on our behalf. So this is our contribution to fill the pothole as the provincial government. You know, the provincial roads and provincial traffic lights. So we have identified, we requested CSIR to map them so that we know where to fix, and then we are working very hard to resolve this. The municipalities, we have also given them this task. So we meet quarterly, myself and all executive mayors, to then map and determine progress in terms of the filling of potholes. We are proud that this program is moving smoothly and that we are moving to fill up the potholes. And once more, we want to apologize to our motorists in our province that are going through so many potholes. But there is a plan, there is a budget. We are now starting with the final implementation of this program so that we attend to these issues as soon as possible. So to expedite repairs, local municipalities will now handle the maintenance of provincial streetlights on our behalf. We've already finalized an agency agreement with Johannesburg Municipality. We are in advanced negotiations with Tshwane Municipality. If we can sort out the three metros, Tshwane, Ekurhuleni, and Johannesburg, we really believe that we would have made meaningful progress. You'll all recall that the President visited our province to establish the Presidential Working Group that has been tasked specifically to revitalize the Johannesburg CBD. We are proud to report that the team has resumed its work, and we've already started to have the working group. And so far, we've also succeeded in reclaiming 12 illegally occupied buildings through court interventions. And these were 12 buildings that were hijacked. They are now back in the hands of government, and we are trying the process of revitalizing these buildings. You will also recall that we appointed the Gampebe Commission, chaired by a judge, to give us the final report by end of June on how to turn around Johannesburg. This report is very critical in identifying the key players behind hijacking of buildings, but most importantly, the modus operandi that they've used, so that it can allow us to take stronger action against this criminal activity. Once more, we want to thank the presidency for focusing on Johannesburg, but as the provincial government, we have expanded their mandate to include all the CBDs in Gauteng, so that we don't only solve Johannesburg, we can attend to Germiston, Roodepoort, Springs, Brakpan, in partnership with all the municipalities as part of revitalizing our CBDs. You'll also recall that we had a report where the provincial government was accused of spending almost 34 million per month in rentals in terms of office space. I've since appointed a team to investigate this, and the terms of reference were publicly released, and the team has been given 2 months to conclude. But in our meeting as the Executive Council of Gauteng, we've taken a decision that the Gauteng Government Precinct project should be reinstituted. This will allow the unoccupied office buildings that is under the ownership of the Gauteng government can be part of the private-public partnership program, so that these said chapter can be closed once and for all. Where the buildings can be renovated and be handed over to government department, we will do so. Where it can be given over to private sector for other responsibilities, we'll also consider that. This is the matter that we will await as the team that is investigating this matter concludes it and present the report to us. The project of the Kopanum precinct has since been registered with the National Treasury, and approval is obtained for feasibility study, so that there is a special portion around town here that can only be for government offices only and owned by government. We believe this will then finally assist us in the cost analysis and ensure that we don't have to spend money on office rentals. Later in June, we are relaunching the Nasi Ispani, a Krasnelova program. This has been a massive program that have assisted us to create opportunities to almost 60,000 unemployed people. The Department of Education is now in the process of recruiting 32,000 assistant teachers. We also want to recruit additional 4,000 beneficiaries that will work within government institutions in the next 12 to 36 months, especially for youth that are not in employment, youth not in education, or youth not in training. We are pleased to announce that this Nasi Ispani program or skills development program will be launched next month, and we're intending to partner with the Department of Labor and other institutions that assigned the task to create job opportunities. We welcome the decision by Judge President of Gauteng Division, Judge Dustin Mlambo, to streamline court processes by introducing a new directive and protocol to expand the use of mediation. We have been hit by a lot of litigation, especially within the health sector and also the DID sector. And therefore, the decision by Judge President of our province to ensure that before matters are enrolled in court, there must be a mediation process. We support this process as government. And we are quite aware that this matter has been taken to court by those that oppose it. We want to apply to be the friends of the court because we really believe this mediation process will fast track to unlock service delivery in our province, as majority of these cases are government-related cases. A major part of this problem is that many cases on the civil trial role don't need a judge for intervention. Up to 85% of these matters are settled in a day of a trial. And therefore, we really believe this will open that opportunity for us to conclude the backlog and clear the backlog and reduce delays in our court system. During the State of the also indicated that we'll be finalizing a groundbreaking agreement with the People's Republic of China in Yunnan, where we'll open trade avenues for our SMMEs to export nuts, rooibos tea, biltong, honey, moringa, wine, to this new market that we have opened with a population of 66 million people across 13 cities without any major restrictions. We are happy to report that next month I will be leading a delegation to China to then realize this important partnership with the province of Yunnan in China. This is a groundbreaking agreement where our SMMEs and our farmers will have their products showcased in China without going through stringent mechanism. This partnership is a game changer for small businesses. As I conclude, I want to extend our heartfelt congratulations to the South Africa Under-20 soccer team, Amajita, for the outstanding victory in AFCON. We are also delighted as the province that the PSL trophy soccer will remain here in Gauteng, and thanks to Mamelodi Sundowns for their exceptional performance. But a special congratulations to Kaizer Chiefs FC, another Gauteng team, for their long-awaited victory at Bank Cup, a well-deserved achievement indeed. As Mamelodi Sundowns prepares for their crucial upcoming match this weekend, we want to assure them that they have the support of the Gauteng government as they conquer Africa, and they will also proudly represent South Africa at the FIFA World Club Cup competition. Finally, we applaud South African athletics team, particularly a child from Gauteng, Akani Simbini, for his phenomenal performance in the 100-meter, showcasing speed, determination, and excellence on the global stage. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Premier.
All right, so there you have it, the Premier of the province, Panyaza Lesufi, wrapping up really the main takeaways from the recent meeting he held with his executive. He's spoken a whole range of issues, including ways to improve road infrastructure, compliance and the vetting of senior management, as well as that decision taken by the Judge President in Gauteng, Dustin Mlambo, to essentially introduce compulsory mediation before matters head to court. We'll continue listening into the question and answer session of that particular media briefing.